Hey guys, this is Daniel with Serenity Knives again. We're bringing you the Benchmade Black class as we promised to you. We're going to show you what we have in store and in shop at Serenity Knives. We're going to start over here to my right, your left, with the Casbah. Now, we have two different models, but the blue one, if I'm not mistaken, is discontinued, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
So going forward, they'll just have the all black and the all black with serrations. Yeah, the Casbah is a button lock auto. It's got a safety, so you can lock it open or closed. That way it can't go off in your pocket. It has a blade length of 3.4 inches. It is open at 7.8 and closed at 4.4. It's got grivery. It's got a reversible pocket clip. Super lightweight. The weight is 3.43 ounces, so it's kind of like their automatic bug out.
Yeah, I really like this guy. It grew on me. I didn't like it at first just because the whole grivery kick for me wasn't my gig. But I've gotten in love with this texture the more and more I've played with it and used it. I've always been a fan of Benchmade's snappiness and their automatics. This definitely has that in it. So this is kind of one of my favorites. I don't know if I'll get one just yet, see if they do anything cool. But that is a great knife and a great auto with a lock as always when it comes to Benchmade. On to the next guy, we have a rendition of, what do we call this, like a automatic bug out, no, Osborne, before the Osborne came out, right?
Yeah, I believe it's an Osborne.
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, this came out before the Auto Osborne, but this was...
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure.
So this is the Mediator. I'll let Nico handle the rest here. But really cool automatic with a high-end steel.
Yeah, so this one has S90V with G10 scales. It's a little bit slimmer, a little bit thinner than the Casbah. I don't know if you can see that from over there.
It's got that reverse Tonto
Yeah,
blade.
That's what they call the reverse Tonto. Kind of clip pointy. Kind of looks like a K-bar clip point.
Yeah.
It's a good looking knife, really slim, lightweight. It's got a, let's see, blade length of 3.3 inches, so just under 3.5. It's open at 7.75 inches and closed at 4.4, and the weight is 2.89 ounces. So it's very easy to carry, definitely disappears in your pocket, but it's there if you need it. S90V, and it also has a safety.
One of the cool things about this guy I like is they didn't just do the regular G10, like a slick G10. Yeah. They added some sort of machining or kind of texture to it. And we'll try and bring that closer up version of this knife to you guys and other knives next video around or so. But I really love the fact that when they have their G10, they do a little bit of a machining on there to add a texture. This one's really cool visually, but a little grippy, not too grippy, still a little slippery to me. But I was kind of a fan when this one came out. So that is the Benchmade Mediator. Now we're on to two big boys, and one of my favorite steel, D2 or CPM D2 with the Claymore. Now this is a big hefty boy.
Yeah. So the Claymore, another button, automatic with the safety. It's got CPM D2 as Daniel said, and it is coated with a cool gray coating match as well. It's got grivery scales, so very lightweight. Let's see the specs. The weight is 3.5 ounces. The blade length is 3.6, and closed it is 5 inches. Open it is 8.6 inches. Definitely full size.
Oh, 100%. Full size, heavy use for sure. This is one of those knives that's got some kind of thought into it as far as what it wants to be, because it kind of leans to the fixed blade with this faux guard you have right here. Yeah. And they did double jipping on both sides, both scales, so it's very durable. It's a really great design as far as making sure you're going to have something to beat on and go hard, especially with D2. They coated it so that way you don't have to worry too much about corrosion resistance, but you will have to maintain that edge. And then they've also put braille right here for, like a Claymore, when it says
face towards enemy.
Yes, face front end that way. But cool knife, definitely something that's going to be for heavy use. The Benchmade Claymore. Right on. Now on to, I would say this is the staple automatic for Benchmade, correct?
We probably sold more CLAs than
Yeah.
any other auto.
Probably one of the best automatics out there as far as how automatics are built and what they've come to be. It's a staple for Benchmade. Also, the original CLA, the just black, is a great, I wouldn't say small gentleman's carry, but this is a good mid-sized gentleman's carry. It's not too intimidating, it's not aggressive, and then you got that guy, but it's a really nice knife, sexy with just a slick G10, and I know I said I'm not a fan of that as far as going hard on your knife, but as a gentleman carry, I like that. But this is the CLA.
Yeah, the CLA has a blade length of 3.4 inches. It is open at 7.85 inches, closed at 4.45, and the weight of this is 3.47.
Right on. And 154 CM is a great stainless steel, one of the most versatile stainlesses out there. I really like this knife in black just because it's a nice smooth carry that you don't have to worry about being too intimidating, too oversized, too overkill. This is a great everyday carry on any scale, and the automatic just kind of ups that level of niceness and coolness.
Yeah, going forward, the green G10 one is discontinued, so it will just be the black and the black with a black blade.
Other than this guy, do you know how many we may have available, ordered?
I do not off the top of my head.
Okay, well, we know for a fact we've got this guy, so if we have this, chances are we might have others. So as going forward, if that's discontinued, this guy will definitely be something you want to get, so because no one else will be able to. But the CLA, probably the staple, like I said, the staple in automatics when it comes to Benchmade and what they've done there. Staying in the automatic kind of realm, we're going to go to what we referred to earlier with the Mediator, the Osborne. Now, I don't know, Nico, kind of like, in my opinion, they've been needing to do this knife. I think my lock's messed up. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. I've opened this knife a lot, and I wasn't expecting it to pop out like that.
I think this knife has been past due in the auto realm. They're finally doing it. And you guys know what I love about Benchmade and their T6 aluminum application, but the auto Osborne.
Yeah, very sleek carry. I'll give you the stats. The blade length is 3.4 inches. It is open at 7.87, closed at 4.47, and the weight is 2.65 ounces. These come in S30V with the aluminum, like he said, so it keeps it very lightweight. It's very slim, very sleek knife. Definitely a gentleman's carry automatic. You can get it in either the black coating or the stonewash. Yeah.
Nico does a lot of our purchasing, but he does all of our purchasing. He knows pretty much everything when it comes to the models in our shop, in our store. I'm a fan of the customization when it comes to the bug out. The Osborne doesn't have that, does it? So, without going on too much of a tangent, like my carbon fiber tangent on the blue class, if they opened up customizing to the Osborne class, auto and regular,
Yeah.
that'd be something crazy. That would be, because the Osborne's one of those knives, it's been around before the bug out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure,
it's one of those knives, if Benchmade, if you can hear me.
I want to say, I always thought that they only did customs for their brand knives, but I don't think that's true because the Griptonian's not necessarily.
Because it's what designer is that? I forget.
I don't know.
Without going too much on a tangent, Benchmade considered doing Osborne customization. You definitely have two customers here that will hop on that bandwagon, if not more. All right, the Osborne Auto. You guys know that knife in regular form, but it's just updated with an automatic mechanism and a lock, as always, from Benchmade. Going into the next guys, the cool daggers I like from Benchmade, especially out the fronts, the Autocrats. Boom. One of my favorite daggers. It'd be really cool. Once again, Benchmade, I'm not trying to say anything, but if you could come out with a mini version, that'd be really, really fun. But the Autocrats.
Yeah. So the Autocrat's definitely a full-size OTF, probably comparable in size to the Ultratech, if you know that. Blade length of 3.71 ounces. It is open at 8.75 inches. Did I say ounces for the blade length? Yeah, 3.71 inches for the blade length. It is open at 8.75 inches and closed at 5.04 inches. The weight is 3.93, so just under 4 ounces. Still very lightweight. It's got G10, S30V, and it's a Scandi grind. Doesn't look like
I don't think it looks more like a chisel.
Like that's
Yeah,
90.
a 9010
Yeah.
chisel. Real quick though, read that weight off to me again.
Yeah, the weight is 3.93 ounces.
3.93 ounces, and without going too far ahead, but check the weight on the full-size Infidel for me. Because the one thing I like about this guy when they came out with it is it's significantly lighter with the G10 scales. It also has a little bit more grippiness. I know I'm a fan of the T6 aluminum, but the full body chassis on the Infidel is a little heavy for me. The mini Infidel is beautiful.
Yeah, so the full-size Infidel comes at 4.9 ounces.
So whole, yeah, wow. Okay. So really well built. I'm a fan of this guy. If they came out with a mini version, you probably have a customer with me because I just love the fact that the mini Infidel fits in the fist. But the Autocrats S30V, great steel, super lightweight and great snappiness from the mechanism. Just one of those things you definitely have to be intentional of when you use it. I love it.
So they come in the brown, the coyote, and the green G10 with black hardware, black blades, as well as a blue hardware with black G10.
That's a cool looking one too.
I want
do
to
like
say
that.
the hardware might be titanium. Don't hold me to that though. No, it's I don't know, but it looks cool.
Yeah, no, the black one with the blue hardware does look cool. We don't have that one right now, but we have had it and it is sold out at the moment. On to the next little family of out the fronts in the black class. We're going to go with the full size and the minis. Can you handle both? Yeah, you've got them all on one page. We've got the full size Infidel and then the mini with black and satin blades. This little guy is my favorite, but I don't want to interrupt Nico on anything. I'll let him read off the stats, and then we'll talk about some things there.
Yeah, so real quick, stats on the full-size Infidel. It has a blade length of 3.91 inches. It is open at 8.91 inches, closed at 5 inches, and then it has a weight of 4.9 ounces.
Open at 8.9? That's pretty much 9 inches, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's a big dude.
yeah, big guy, durable. This aluminum is definitely Benchmade's tried and true if you haven't heard me rave about it before. I love the matte finish. It adds a little bit of grippiness and texture to it along with some of the machining we have here. But the mini's definitely my guy.
Yeah, they look awesome. They're very much the iconic modern dagger and with their aesthetic. The mini it has a blade length of 3.10 inches. It has an open at 7.10 inches and closed at 4 inches. The weight is 3.4 ounces. These are D2 with aluminum.
Yeah.
Both.
My favorite steel, guys, D2. The mini Infidel, it just disappears in your hand for most people. One of my favorite things. Just as a precursor, Nico, if you want to get those going. Just as a precursor, I do want to mention, we Serenity knives here are in Texas. And the state laws here in Texas allow for any kind of blade to be carried. No laws or restrictions on mechanism, deployment, etc. Pretty much the bladed or edged weapons category got taken out of the law books. So for us, we are allowed to sell automatics and out the fronts in the state of Texas. We are not allowed to sell them online, so you will not see some of the prices or some of these knives online, if I'm not correct. Nico's is the main guy who handles all of the online stuff as far as inventory goes. But I do want to give you guys that as a precursor. You guys are seeing them here, and that's great. But check your state laws. We do want to cover a video on that somewhere down the line where we talk about state laws and go over what's illegal and illegal in each state. That will be further down the line, but I just want to kind of put that as a precursor before we continue on. Check your state laws before you make a purchase of an automatic or out the front knife, just so that way you're not breaking the law or getting a business to do so. All right. on to the next stuff. We're on to the Benchmade Phaetons. We've got our guy Josh who has this one in, and he let us borrow this for this video, which I appreciate you, Josh. And then we have the regular black version. I'll let Nico go with the stats there.
Yeah, so the Phaeton is one of their single-edged OTFs with the switch on the spine, much like a Microtech. It has a S30V blade. They're both coated, and it comes in either the bronze or the black aluminum. It has a blade length of 3.45 inches. It is open at 8.08 inches, closed at 4.63 inches, and has a weight of 3.01 ounces. So very lightweight, very easy to carry, very slim. I like it. It's a good knife.
Yeah, it's a cool profile. This is one of those staples I will tell you about Benchmade. When they mess with their T6 aluminum and put different colors on it, it just is so beautiful. This is the bronze that I was never really a fan of the Phaeton, but when they put the bronze on this, you just gotta love it. And Josh has a little bit of wear in some areas here that just kind of give it a little bit more patina. And man, it's beautiful every time I see it, and I love what Benchmade does on their T6 aluminum application. This is definitely something I would consider getting if I considered not the front. Like Nico said, it is nice and slim. It's just a great overall knife, sexy as well, which is why Josh bought it, because he's our little flashy guy as far as knives go. But beautiful. He actually took the pod clip off too, so I just noticed that there's no pod clip on here, but there is a two-way on both knives, as you see on the black. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Josh likes his without the pocket clip. But beautiful knife, guys. Great out the front. Single-sided, which is also not like a dagger like you see in the Infidels and Autocrats.
It has kind of a sci-fi look to it.
It does. It's got a lot of different looks to it. You know, a gentleman's carry, high-end out the front. So many things there, versatile, and once again, the bronze on that is just, it's beautiful. It pops. You almost slip up there, bud?
Yeah, maybe. Alright, let's do both the facts.
Alright.
This.
On to the facts. We've got the 417 fact right here, and then the 417 OBK, or the 4170 BK, which is the auto fact. Bam. Right there, guys. Go ahead with the stats, Nico.
Yeah, so the fact, both of them have the same stats. Well, most of them. The blade length is 3.95 inches. It is open at 8.74 inches, closed at 4.8 inches, and the weight is 3.11 ounces. So the manual version has aluminum scales with this really cool millings. It gives you some traction. It is an S30V blade, whereas the auto has an S90V blade with aluminum bolster and pommel and carbon fiber inlays, as well as a safety on the back. Very lightweight, very, dagger-esque.
Yeah.
American stiletto.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan here, but once again, that T6 aluminum, when they anodize it, whatever they do to get different colors in their application on it, beautiful. And you guys know how much I rave about their carbon fiber, not their CF Elite, but when you go all the way carbon fiber, you get that traditional bolster pommel look. I mean, that's sexy right there. I don't even need the blade. But another thing I really like about this knife, and I kind of wish Benchmade would incorporate this with a lot of their autos, is do your Axis auto lock that you're kind of known for. I know a lot of people are kind of taking that lock and running with it, but that's a great little way to not have an extra, I guess, different set of buttons. It's kind of the same application, but I really am a fan of that. So the auto fact and the fact, guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to check the weight. So the weight on the manual is 3.24 ounces, and then the weight on the auto is 3.11. So the auto is a little lighter, I guess.
Nice. Well, the carbon fiber probably, and the aluminum. Where this one's what's the liner here?
Oh, it might be steel liners.
Yeah, it might be stainless. Black anodized T6 billet. Oh well, they're both aluminum, so well, I guess it's just thinner here. But the auto fact and the fact, guys. Right on. Let me put those there. Slide those on here. Our next guy here has two little variants. the mini Presidio in black and satin. Really good everyday carry. Great machining on the Gribery, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll let Nico give you that info.
Yeah, so this is that CF Elite.
Oh.
It's all milled out. It actually feels pretty good. It's a very light knife, coming in at 4.97 ounces. It has an S30V blade, which you can either get in this like bead blast stonewash look or the black coating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are 3.72 inches on the blade length, open at 8.72. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong specs. That's the full size Presidio.
Okay, yeah, mini.
That sounded way too long.
Right.
Blade length is 3.2 inches, open at 7.48,
yeah.
and then closed at 4.34 with a weight of 3.19.
Benchmade's base S30V, guys. Great little knife. You already know my rant on the CF Elite material. If you don't, you can go check out the blue video. I don't want to get into it here. Love the double jimping. It's almost like the Claymore without the flared out faux guard, but something a lot smaller. You don't have to worry about it being too intimidating. With Benchmade's great access lock, I'm a fan of this guy. The mini Presidio.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right on. Scoot on to the next two. The Redoubts. Kind of one of Benchmade's new guys, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Came out this year.
Came out this year. Kind of a take on, what do we say? The Griptilian? Like a kind of a...
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's like a newer Griptilian.
Yeah, it's definitely got that Griptilian snap.
Yeah. Where is this thing?
You want me to try and pull it up? CPM D2.
No,
You guys know me with my my fandom over D2. So CPM D2 is definitely something I've been wanting to get into, just as in making knives as well. But this is definitely one of the steels I'm a fan of, especially through Benchmade. I am kind of leery about this guy, but the Redoubt's one of the newer things through Benchmade. I'm just trying to see whether or not it's worth the money, and maybe if they come through some different variants of what that is. But we've got the serrated version and the regular straight edge version. Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, so they have Gribery handles. The blade length is 3.55 inches, open at 8.29 inches, and closed at 4.75 with a weight of 3.7 ounces. Very lightweight for how big it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a user. I would like to put the CPM D2 to some work.
I like the off color. If they did it with some other combinations, the faux front guard's also kind of cool too. Definitely something I see as a workhorse. CPM D2, very similar to the Claymore, but definitely not as big. So a workhorse in a smaller version without the auto mechanism is what I would consider the Redoubt. Very snappy knife like a Griptilian, if you guys haven't looked at that video earlier. But that's a pretty new one from Benchmade. I'm also a fan of that thumb stud. Have you taken a look at that? It's kind of got like a dark gray, or is the green bouncing off of it?
Yeah, it's a green.
Yeah, I like that.
It is also like the Griptilian in the sense that the back is covered. It has a sort of Gribery back strap, so you will need to like blow it out with compressed air. You can't just blow it out.
Good call. Yeah, there's no kind of pocket to blow stuff out and get gunk out on that guy. But that is the Redoubt. Let's see, switching my bam. On to one of my favorites in Benchmade, the smallest, toughest knife. Smallest, toughest knife, I think.
Tank buster.
Yeah, and then the big tank buster. But the mini Adamas, y'all. This guy is whatever you want to consider look-wise. When you put this thing in the hand, it just makes you want to do work. Like, it makes you want to get in there. And the small one, the small one is something I could see just any kind of everyday carry, especially if you really consider yourself someone who gets down on a knife. But then you've got the regular Adamas, and that guy, yeah, you're going to war with this one here. But the mini Adamas and the full-size Adamas, I'll let Nico give you those stats. Definitely one of my favorite small, heavy-duty knives.
Yeah, so the mini Adamas has a 3.25 inch blade with a open length of 7.62 inches, closed at 4.37, and a weight of 4.6 ounces. G10 steel liners, axis lock with a nice heavy, what was it, crew wear blade? Yeah, so they moved them to crew wear. These are awesome.
Yeah, that crew wear, super smooth. Crew wear, stainless liners. This is just a tank. It's built hard. It's built to do work. Serrated in the full. We've got different colors in the smaller versions, the mini Adamases, and we've had the other variants in the full size as well.
Yeah, so the mini Adamas doesn't come with serrations, it looks like.
Ah, so just straight edges on this guy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the auto. Yeah, I'm Nico knows his stuff. But yeah, the mini Adamas and the Adamas there, guys. Those guys in store, and also one of the harder use ones throughout Benchmade.
For sure. The full-size Adamas specs, real quick, it has a blade length of 3.82 inches. It is open at 8.93 inches, closed at 5.2, and it has a weight of 6.45 ounces. Same materials, it also can come in serrations as well as the gray and black configuration.
Right on. All right, guys, the mini Adamases. And boom, boom, boom.
Alright, bailouts.
Yep. Alright, now we're going to wrap up the black class with the Benchmade Bailout. They came out with this guy very soon after the bug out kind of got introduced and got its kind of momentum as another different version. We've got a lot of those out kind of words with Benchmade and just variants of the bug out in here. And so the Bailout here, I'm going to grab my more favorite one with the T6 aluminum here. But we have 3 of them. I'll let Nico take over with the stats.
Yeah, so all 3 variants have the same stats as far as lengths go. They have a blade length 3.38 inches, open at 8.12 inches, and closed at 4.72 inches. The weight is 2.05 ounces on the black one, which has ribbery scales and a 3V blade. The weight on the aluminum variants is 2.7 ounces. So a little heavier. You definitely feel it when you're holding them.
Right.
But they're not light. I mean, they're not heavy either one.
Yeah. The main difference is I feel will be a little bit on the light and heaviness. Steel-wise, not too familiar with 3V, but having a couple knives M4, this is something you're definitely going to have to take care of on the edge. And if any of this coating comes off, you're going to have to take care of that as well, because the bare steel of M4 is super corrosion prone. But the anodized aluminum, which is my favorite thing with Benchmade, and the little texture milling they do here, beautiful. They even added the little glass breaker on the anodized aluminum version, which you don't see on the Grivery. It's just a lanyard hole, but you probably could bang a couple things out there if you wanted to, and you just give it a real hard oomph. But Tonto blade, not my favorite, but goes along with this knife, and the blade to handle ratio is up there as well, which is what I appreciate, but I lean more towards this guy, not only because I know how to take care of M4, but because it's just got that aluminum that I love so much with Benchmade.
Yeah, I actually have one of the black ones, and I really like it. It's a super full-sized knife for how light and thin it is. It disappears in your pocket. I like 3V. I know there were some issues on the earlier batches. I don't think mine had those problems with the heat treat, because it actually holds an edge pretty well. Super thin blades, very utilitarian. The Tonto is interesting. It's fun to find uses for that edge up top, but in general, it's a good knife. I don't know if it's better than the bug out as far as just a general EDC knife, but it's a good one.
Have we done a blade swap steel-wise on these guys?
No, we haven't.
Oh, I might do that. Just thought about that. But yeah, the Bailout guys, that's going to wrap up the black class with us. You guys have any questions, comments, please put them in the comments. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. That's what's going to help this channel grow. We hope to give you different and close-up views as we continue to grow. But any kind of information you guys need from us, just put it all down there. All the prices for these knives will be online at serenityknives.com, and you guys can contact us more. That will be the Black Cast. Daniel, Nico, wrapping it up for you. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Go Stros.
Later.